Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to another episode of the Fantabulous Livestream. Or to Scott, country boy stuck in the city, I would like to say, salut les amis, bienvenue, c'est notre mardi, ça sera fun ce soir. I'm just being a brat. Welcome to the Bevies, Blades, and Livestream. The Bevies, Blades, and Bushcraft Livestream, where we got blades, we got bevies, and on occasion we do talk about bushcraft related stuff, though we have lately been speaking more about the bevies related stuff. It's a free for all tonight. It was a free for all kind of last Tuesday as well, because I don't have something specific to discuss. I am starting with, so this is dry week. So I'm starting the night with a de-alcoholized gin and tonic. This is by Hickson, which is a local distillery. It's not bad. It ain't quite the same, but it's not bad. And I'm finishing this up actually because I was having it in my prep, so I'm going to follow that up with the same Guinness that I had last week. And of course I have water, and as always, I have tea. So if you're watching us time shifted to tomorrow, next week, or whatever, welcome. Thanks for watching after the fact. Thanks for the comments that I sometimes see you drop down in the doobly-doo down there. And I do love knowing that you're hanging with me after the fact, even though you cannot participate in this fancy little chat that we got going every week. If at any point tonight you really love what you're seeing and hearing, smiley thumb man. If at any point you kind of hate what you're seeing and hearing, that's okay. Frowny thumb works just as well. And if you would like to take a more active role in supporting the channel, keeping that light on, buying me de-alcoholized gin, then I invite you to right click on the join button, open it in a new tab, take a look over there at what the 2 tiers of membership are that are available to you for your hard-earned folding cash, as well as what each of those tiers will get you. Now, without much further ado, let's get on to the nothing burger that I have planned for tonight. Last week I had wanted to talk about planning upcoming interview shows and panel discussions, but last week was shite, so I kind of wanted you guys to just sort of cheer me up, which you did brilliantly, just brilliantly. So parched doing all this talking. I know that we will have to put off the lantern conversation for a little while because one of the people I was going to invite is a little under the weather for the next little while. I never got answered by, who was that guy that you guys asked me to reach out to, and I've forgotten his name now. I mean, he's quite a bit bigger than me, and so unsurprisingly, I did not even get a reply. It's fine. I feel no malice about it. No harm, no foul. Just a little hurt. So yeah, I still want to do more interviews, and I'd like to get back into panel shows. I will work on that at the end of a G&T. De-alcoholized G&T. But you know what? I haven't said hi to anyone who's kicking around, so let's just do that. So actually, first one out of the gate tonight was Paul. Boom. Saying hi to everybody at the ripe old time of like 8:38, which is about a minute and a half after my after this thing went up. Like it wasn't live yet, but it was up, you know. Come back in a half hour, we're gonna be live. And then right after him was Country Boy, who is a channel mod and a channel hero. And then Mr. Mark, no consequence. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna say anything of of any real value or harm tonight. I don't think. I didn't plan anything big. So there you go. It's like the Great Big Sea song, consequence free. I want to be consequence free. I want to live where nothing ever matters. I want to be consequence free. La 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 la. Yeah, I know the song. Perfect. I can do it. I'm just gonna pop on past everyone saying hi. But I do want to say hi to everybody. I said hi to Paul and Country Boy, and I think I said hi to well, he shows up as Bluegrass Bigfoot. Anyone else kicking with us yet? Oh, we got David the Instigator in the house. David the Instigator, as you guys well know, is a channel mod and a channel hero. So be nice. Who else? We got Mr. Peanut Shirt. How you doing, Chris? Yeah. Also, by the way, a channel mod. So be nice or get the road hammer dropped upon you. Everyone's saying hello. I say hello. I'm seeing if there's anyone. We're hitting the 40s at night and the low 60s during the day. I'm thinking that's degrees freedom. Right now here it's minus 11. It was minus 15 earlier. And the high today was minus 8. So I don't know what that is in freedom units. Man, holy crap. Look who's here. Al's here. I'm here because Russell said I need to be. What are you taking his place? Are you here so that are you waving the flag for him as well? Is that what's going on? And there's Grace. How you doing, Grace? How are things down there? Country boy. I will have you know that I do know some Franco Albertans. That's a rare breed, but I do know some. And I know for a fact that there are a lot of Francos in the British Columbia legal system. Yuck. You're a booger, Chris. Yup. I know the street loves readings. The street used to have a reading. Tonight's reading is from The Down and Dirty Guide to Camping with Kids by Helen Olson. Main tent, the sanctuary. Only once did we let the kids and their friends go nuts and play in the tent, after all the bags and pads were set up. Never again, I tell you. Not only were all the sleeping bags heaped in an unruly pile, and yes, maybe I'm a touch OCD here, but the kids also tracked in so much dirt and dust that I ended up having an asthma attack in the middle of the night. So unless you have a high tolerance for chaos and dirt, my recommendation is to declare the tent a sanctuary of peace and serenity where children and adults alike sleep like babies. Once the boudoir is situated, the tent is off limits to roughhousing. Tonight's reading was brought to you by Al. Tea is a good drink. Yes, it is. Tea is a good drink. So good. Oh, there's Mr. Russell. Good evening, everyone. I love you. Everyone, Evertone. Everyone loves Russell back. Hey, there's Scott. How you doing? Happy Tuesday to you. I hope the weather's treating you well. I hope you're not at minus 11 like I am. Well, I mean, we're inside, so maybe it doesn't matter. I I bought some new wiper blades. Yep, that happened. At Canadian Tire like yesterday or something. Sunday actually, and it was like -5. And I said, okay, so when I get home, I'll just swap the blades over. But then I ended up having to go to like 3 different shopping stores, supermarkets, and by the time I got home, the sun was going down and it had gone to like -11. So I was like, I'll do it tomorrow. And now we're 3 days later, and I just keep saying, nope, I'll do it tomorrow. So that went over well. Russell doesn't like dry week. I'm okay with it. So one of the things, part of the fallout of having discovered what is going on in my head is that I'm not supposed to have alcohol or like sugary drinks, and stuff like that. There's one other thing, but anyway, not like never ever, but it's good to sort of minimize it. Sugary drinks, I have no problem with it. Like I don't drink pop. I'll have a ginger ale every now and again or a root beer, but I don't like pound a pop every day or anything. And I don't drink every day. But like, so for me, dry week isn't as big of a I keep wanting to say of a rough house, but no, isn't as much of a like a chore as I thought it was going to be when I started doing it. And I thought that because I love whiskey. Like I actively love the textures and the flavors and the smells. And I love to explore the notes and look at the colors. I'm like, this is non-chill filtered. They must have aged this thing in sherry. Like I love the knowledge and just and sharing my whiskey and stuff. But I'm pleased to say that after doing dry week, I don't miss it. I'm not at the point where I need to have it, and that's part of the reason I do the dry week, to make sure I'm not going down the wrong side of this thing. But also, it's a really helpful palate reset. And because I don't only drink whiskey for the love of it, but I also have a channel where I talk about notes and stuff, I find it really useful to reset the palate, like in a more fundamental way than just having a sip of tea or a bite of cheese between. Very good, very good. There's like a mini reset that you do during a tasting where, some people go with water, but I find that like a simple black tea is better, or some nuts or something. But I mean, so I don't suffer through dry week, you know. I mean, especially not with excellent shit like this around. Oh, I gotta finish my tonic water. You know what? I'm gonna pour that into my gin and tonic glass so that I can get it nice and cold. So, what I didn't get to show you guys was that the missus for Christmas got me my Whiskey Channel logo on one of those like ice cube stamps, and it's a little wide for something under like a 2-inch cube, but it looks really cool down the side of one of these long guys. But like it doesn't really show up anymore because I've been, oh well, whatever. Hickson 0% gin. Oh yeah, so where are we? Yeah, so Russell said dry week sucks. He does not like the dry week. Man on the Street says, I think Jess should interview me. Are you going to be a great big jerk on camera? Or are you going to actually, what would we interview you about? I mean, because you do some interesting stuff, but is a lot of it sort of bushcraft related? You know what? I'll ping you later. If you're not just being a being a brat. If you're actually not kidding, then I'll ping you later. I'm saying hi to Scott. Fitzy's here. Destiny is here. I'm saying hi to everybody, including me. Oh God, that sounded like Blippy, didn't it? Or Gollum in. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. And whatevs, right? Country Boy says if Al's going to talk about muscle restoration, I'm all in. I guess you're talking about muscle car restoration. CBTITC. I can if you. Oh, Country Boy trapped in this. I can if you would go for it. Well, let's talk about it later. The arteries will be slapping shut tonight after the greasy board. Yuck! I don't know what the hell, why you had to say it that way, Destiny, because that sounds gross. Gross. I love it. Country Boy, who needs blood flow? Enjoy. There's Hike with Mike. How you doing? How's the weather down there? I ask the same question all the time. Like I read somewhere that Canadians talk about weather because we have some. But I should probably stop asking everyone what the weather's like. I should. But like, what else are you gonna ask conversationally online? Like, hey, how is your mortgage looking? You know, what's your credit card debt like? I mean, I'm looking for something that to just sort of register, hi, and not just sort of say hi, how are you, and move on, but like ask an actual question. I should change that question. If you're like, how many knives do you have this week? I'll do that if I should ask that if Homie Omi comes on. Hey, Homie, how many tools are we up to? I'm behind here, eh? Oh, I'm only 10 minutes behind. Okay, everyone's just saying hi, so I'm going to. Hike says yesterday was cold even in Florida. It was pretty cold here. So when it's cold down there, like I know it gets colder down there than I would expect it to, but are you ever worried about like hypothermia in Florida, Mike? Christy in the house. How you doing, Christy? Christy's a channel hero. I realize I have not been telling you guys who are channel heroes. I mean, look, it shows up in the side chat, but I do like to sort of verbally acknowledge, the channel heroes. But yeah, so I will try to to anyway, whatever, whatevs, okay. Everyone's saying hi. Everyone's saying hi. Everyone's saying hi. Scott says here in Wisconsin, it's going to be a high of 0 Fahrenheit with a wind chill of close to minus 50 Fahrenheit. Okay, that's worse than where I am. Yep. That. Nope. Stay inside. Stay inside. Country Boy says the only contact I've had with the legal system required them to speak English. I didn't care how well they spoke French. No, but British Columbia does fill with French Canadians every summer for like temporary jobs, especially in the Okanagan, picking fruit and stuff. And each of them have constitutional right to be tried in French. So it's important to have, and there's a lot of Franco crowns in that province. Because whenever you get a whole bunch of 18-year-olds in one area, you're going to need a crown at one point. And there is a small, very small population of French-speaking British Columbians, but not really enough to really even count. Oh, David missed the reading. Yes, of course I can repeat. I mean, just in case Al missed it too. Now, what was it about? The tent? Yeah, this is about camping with kids. So, play tent, the Thunderdome. The problem with the tent as sanctuary policy is that for kids, roughhousing in the tent is half the fun of camping. The solution is to bring along a small kids' play tent or the old orange pup tent from your scouting days. Let the wild things wrestle, cavort, and otherwise wreak havoc in that tent. Muddy sandals and all. That way you can preserve order and tranquility in the family tent. This reading was brought to you by David the Instigator on behalf of Al. So, where were we? Country Boy is asking Christy where old Nine Toes is. Apparently sitting next to her on the couch watching Sandokan on the TV. I do not know what Sandokan is. I can't because it's dry week for me, but you go for it. Paul says, my wallet and credit card wish I do a dry year. I understand that. I've made this year my year to sort of discover what kind of quality you can get down around the $100 to $120. Like I'm sort of toning down the $200 bottle purchases this year. You know, keeping it down close to 100. See what kind of quality I can experience. I know with bourbon you can really go crazy, but I'm not buying bourbon. I don't know why I brought that up. But like with certain kinds of whiskey, you can get some great stuff under $100. But you know, the classic Laddie is still under $100. I think. I think that's a great whiskey. But yes, I agree with you completely. Hey, there's Homie Omi. How you doing? So, in honor of what I said earlier about how I'm going to change my question to everyone, got any cool stuff lately? Russell says, "Screwdriver, let's do a dry heave week." Just play a whole bunch of Sabrina Carpenter songs, and I'll dry heave on demand. All right, I'm gonna crack this baby open. Dry week, a little dabble, do ya? I think I got the idea for dry week maybe from the Whiskey Tribe. Paul, you watch the Whiskey Tribe, don't you? Was that wait, they've got two well, they split themselves in two now, right? And one of them kept Whiskey Tribe and one of them kept Whiskey something. But they used to do a dry week every quarter, I think, or every year. I do it every quarter. Nesmic video is okay. I'll give you guys an update on that. I should have gotten it. I was unaware that I was going to be asked about this. I have sourced a Nesmic knife. I'm currently just looking for the folder. Well, I found it. It's just paying off some bills before I buy one. There's one that's pretty much exactly the same, and it looks like the same size as Nesmic used, and so I'm gonna pick that up. But it's like 65 US plus shipping and stuff. And let me see if I can find it, because once I get that, then I'm set up. Because I don't have like a canoe knife or the one he was using is what's called a moose pattern knife. Let me just take a look and see what I can find. Because I think I posted about it in Russell's Discord, but it was a couple of weeks ago. So like I'm probably gonna scroll and scroll and scroll and not find it. What if I say from me? I'm probably wasting time here. I probably shouldn't be doing this right now. I post a lot. Actually, I haven't been posting as much. Where is it? Where is it? I cannot find. I cannot find. Boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. Found it. I shall show you guys the site. So yeah, I'm hoping to get it. Maybe I'll get it for myself for my birthday, and then I'll be ready to go. Trying to share a screen with you guys using this app is a freaking nightmare. Okay, it's a freaking nightmare. So yeah, this is it. This is about as close to. Oh no, it's out of stock. Doesn't matter. I'm not buying right now anyway. So anything that's a moose pattern, this one seems to be the closest that I've found. It's a good size because that's the thing in the actual Nesmic trio diagram in the Nesmic book that I tried to find last time and couldn't. It's a pretty big sized pocket knife. It's not one. It's not one of those little tiny pen knives, you know. So that, and I'm ready to go. Then what I'll do is try to find a piece of forest to go to, which I haven't been having a lot of luck with the past couple of years, and head out and do some stuff. What I'm gonna do is try to use the tools as Nesmic used the tools, right? So this, I think you can see my cursor, right? This becomes my wood carving and wood treatment knife, and the big Nesmic becomes my um, food prep knife, because I'm not going to be hunting anything just to, mess with the knife. Now the one that I was able to source is a modern Nesmic. Okay, like Nesmic's actual knife was very, very narrow. Like if you looked at the spine, it was really narrow because it was for slicing. It was for like skinning deer and slicing food and stuff. Whereas nowadays, a lot of them are much thicker. I wish I'd planned this better. I should have got that knife. Anyway, like a lot of them are much sort of thicker, Scandi grind and all this stuff. But I think it's not going to be a problem. I'm not going to skin anything. I'll use it sort of as my general camp cook knife. And I've got the axe to do like the axe plus that little. I kind of think I want to bring a saw along as a just in case thing, but I'm afraid to do that because like let me stop sharing the screen. But I'm afraid to do that because I think that I would be too tempted to actually use it because I don't think Nesmic brought a saw. Right. So I think I would have to force myself to leave that at home. You know? But yeah, David, I'm working on it. I don't, should I go and get the knife? Should I show it off? Huh, I don't know. Shawnee, how you doing? Um, you getting ready for a cold warning as well? Yeah, it seems that we're all getting our butts kicked by Mother Nature these days. She's like, you messed with me for centuries. I'm gonna kick your ass. Mm. Yeah, I do a lot of reading about my condition. But yeah, hi Shawnee. I'm still thrilled I finally got to see one of your lives. That, like, was it 2 weeks ago? And it was like, yeah, but that's because it wasn't at my usual time. I was like, oh, okay. Um, David says we went to Honeymoon Island last week. Saw osprey, bald eagles, herons, egrets, a birding paradise. I do love to bird. Um, um, I think that if I lived anywhere near an absolute birder's paradise, I might not get anything done because I'd be constantly like there with like my Merlin or my camera with the big lens. Love birds. And Peanut Trucker says no hypothermia in Florida. End of January, beginning of February is our cold season, so it's normal right now in Florida. Okay. Going to be a high of minus 11 Fahrenheit here in Minnesota on Friday, so I'll probably feel like minus 30 or worse. Oh yeah, because of the wind chill. I mean, minus 11 Fahrenheit seems pretty good, pretty nuts to me anyway. What keeps going bleep? What's bleaking and bluking? Oh, I know what's bleaking and bluking. Yep, you guys are messaging me. Okay, let me just take a look. Oh, Paul is showing his latest whiskey purchases. Can I show these, Paul? What? Yes, it doesn't show your name. It's good if I show them. Shawnee's asking Christy what she cooked up today. Oh, your back is out. Oh, that sucks. What happened there? Shawnee's loving the story times. Yeah. Um, I I don't love the idea of having a romper room tent and a normal tent. I don't like my kids to be running around and making a huge mess in the tent, but they don't. Like they know to take their shoes off outside the tent. So that book is written by someone who I think may not have the wherewithal to convince the kids to take their footwear off before they enter the tent. So I mean, it's got a lot of fun ideas for camping with kids, but I don't take the entirety of the book at face value. On Paul's agenda is hoping for no snow and no black ice on the sidewalks. But I live in Montreal, yeah, so watch out for that black ice. Uh, where Shawnee is, yeah, here it's been ice, snow, wind, dangerous to walk around anywhere. Steve Grounds in the house. Finished his episode. How you doing, Mister? Uh, Homie says, yeah, I got two new knives, a Rife VCon and a Rife Range Wolf. Maybe I think you texted me on Instagram too, so maybe I'll show that once I've finished showing. Russell says, what crazy person only has 3 tabs open? Oh, I have multiple windows open with endless tabs. There's, yeah. No. Steve, OCD people. I am not OCD. At least I've got that going for me. David says, I only open 1 tab at a time. Pam has 500 tabs open at once. Drives me nuts. Yep. Yeah. Uh, David's looking for a good pair of binoculars for birding. Yeah. I have okay binoculars. Actually, I don't know where they are, but I don't have like great binoculars, but they're good enough. Oh snap! Shawnee's birthday today. All together. Happy birthday to you. Happy. I don't hear you guys singing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shawnee. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Okay, moving right along. Okay, everyone's okay. You guys are singing along. I love this. Destiny, how did you miss that one? Appreciates all the wonderful birthday wishes, including Russell's. You looked at my comment? No, I'm getting to it in 1 second. I just want to show these wonderful bottles that that Paul has. Here's a Kilchoman. A couple of Bardstowns. Where'd you get those? Up early, Alberta. Some North Stars. My last North Star really let me down, so I've been really shy about buying more. Okay. Gone into the bourbon. Is that I think that's the only Jack Daniels I would buy on that there. Oh, the Craig Ellicky 17. I bet you bought that on sale at Kensington Wine Market, and I just couldn't do it. I really wanted to. Lafroid. Oh, holy crap, dude! A Cairgis? Oh my snap! Whew. Guys, I mean, Paul's taste in whiskey is legendary, in my opinion. Now, okay, so hold on. Omi. Couple of knives. So where are those made? What did you say they were, Rafe? Rafe, right? Hey, Serge is here tonight. Oh my snap! How'd you pull that off? Shawnee says, I have made myself my great grandmother's caramel bars for my birthday dessert. Tell more. Caramel bar. You can't just sort of say something like that without being like, and here's the recipe, or like some sort of description. Countrywide, there's nothing wrong with OCD. Going to check the deadbolt 10 times. No, I'm just saying that I'm the opposite. I'm an epic mess. When did I get that extra acre? BSW, okay, yeah, solid. Keg and cork and whiskey drop in Alberta. I've never even heard of keg and cork or whiskey drop. But BSW has seen many of my dollars in the past, and I believe Country Boy's bought a few things there too, hasn't he? By the way, what Sam's just talking about how to get that extra acre is from this. Okay, so Shawnee says a caramel bar has a crust made with oats, flour, butter, brown sugar, salt, and baking soda. You melt caramels in heavy cream and pour over. Sprinkle chocolate chips, pecans, and a little crust. Bake. Bake. Hey, Jim. See y'all in 30 and happy birthday, Shawnee. See you in 30, Mr. Jim. I am sharing my entire screen. Stop sharing. Okay. Rosecraft Mosquito Lake Moose. I wonder if it's any good. I mean, 65 bucks. It's $63.99 US, but so like 70 bucks Canadian for a pocket knife. Like, I hope it's a good knife. You know? So here's a question that like literally just bought. Oh, check this out. I just caught this in the back of my peripheral vision. So I built this. This is that one of those Anavrin things. Anavrin, right? They're expensive, but this was my Christmas gift to myself. And I'm thrilled to say that after reading that, several of these things come with like shorted, on the wiring, that this one actually works. Wait, let me find the button. This one actually works, right? So nice. I'm so thrilled with it because I find that doing process stuff like this is doing little process things like that, or you're like using the tweezers to put stuff on and stuff. It really sort of calms the demons a little bit, and so I massively enjoy doing that. The wiring was a freaking nightmare though, especially for a guy like me who isn't great with electrics. The wiring was an absolute nightmare. But when I was almost finished, Clem noticed it, and she was like for a good solid half hour, she was like pointing inside, saying, "Oh look, there's a tooth," or "Oh look, hey, there are plants," and she's very interested. So I've picked one out that I'll buy maybe closer to my birthday to build with her. But yeah, I love that kind of stuff. And I had avoided buying it because like whenever I see something advertised on my Facebook feed or my Instagram feed or something, I automatically think that it's just a scam. Um, but I was just too curious. Just too curious. And like that's it's a futuristic Kowloon, right? And I'm all about sort of the cyberpunk aesthetic and stuff. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Um, but yeah, but they're like, you can't buy one of those every week. That's for damn sure. And it was hours of building pleasure. So I had a question for you. I talk a lot about whiskey on this channel, even though it's not my whiskey channel. I was wondering about that today. I was like, why do I keep ending up talking about whiskey? And it's because it's not unrelated to bushcraft for me, because it's part of the continuity of a day of camping for me. Is that like do the early stuff, breakfast, hike, enjoy the natural world, bag of nuts or something, or pemmican for lunch kind of thing, and then and collecting wood. You're making a fire, you're caring for the tent or your hammock, or maybe you take a nap in the afternoon, blah blah blah, and then you do sort of your nighttime cooking, and then once everything's cooked, um, best practice I would feel is to wash your pan immediately. Like your plate you can wash later, but like your pan, wash, because by the time you finish eating, the sun might be going down, and so the fewer things you whatever you've the tools part of your day is over. You're done with all the sharps, right? You put all the sharp stuff away, and I have a whiskey after supper, as a way of bookending the day. Start with a cup of tea or coffee, depending on what I've got along with me in the morning. End with a nice whiskey, one whiskey. I mean, I'm not downing a bottle and getting shite faced, but you know, finish with a nice dram, and it's part of the camping or bushcraft experience for me. So to me, it's not weird to discuss whiskey here, as we often do, because it is related. And so what I was wondering is, how many of you guys have something like that, that is a part of camping or bushcraft or whatever, or paddling for you, that is not necessarily immediately obvious? Like, is there someone out there who's kind of a coffee snob and grinds up special coffee for after supper out in the bush? Or, I mean, look, a lot of people, it's just too instant out in the bush because it's that much easier. But you know what I'm saying, like, or is it like a guitar comes all the time for you or something. Like, how many of you guys have that kind of, it is related because X things, or do you? Like, maybe not everyone does. Look, I spent my entire life convinced that everyone secretly has a favorite dinosaur. And then I found out that no, not everybody secretly has a favorite dinosaur. And unfortunately, I found that out in front of half the people I work with. But, it's like, just because I see whiskey as being part of the outdoor experience doesn't mean that everyone sees it that way or has something like that. That's only tertiary. That's only related in kind of a tertiary way. Ooh, Sasha's gonna be in Egypt in less than 2 weeks. Crumbs! I wish I'd known that. Bring me back a pyramid. No, seriously, what do you? That's cool that you're going there. I've never been there. I hear it's fascinating. There's at least one museum I would love to go to there. I like to hit a museum anywhere I go. When I used to go to New York, I used to love hitting the what the hell was it called? The American Museum of the American Natural History Museum, the one that Neil deGrasse Tyson works at. I can see the logo. I've been there so often, but the name it just went. You know what? Fuck you. I'm out of here. Um, in Paris, I went to the Louvre, but I also went to there was oh, what was his name? The sculptures, the really rough sculptures. Le Jardin de. We're just gonna move along, but yes, I like to hit a museum everywhere I go. Something about something kind of local. Um, my father was born in Egypt, so I'll be saying all the time. My father was born here to explain the fact that you don't speak Arabic. I haven't seen Marcus here tonight yet, but I'm probably behind, right? Well, I'm actually pretty good. Mark says, "Have you seen the Book Nook kits on Amazon?" No. Allow me to Amazon.ca. Book Nook. I shall look at Book Nook. I mean, they probably have the Anna Vrin ones, right? But they probably have other ones as well. Oh, Row Life. They have those at Omer de Serre here in Montreal. The Row Life ones. These are a lot more affordable though. Like around $50. You're a genius. This might be the way I can build one with Clem a little sooner. Smart. I don't know if that's what you were intending, but that's what I'm getting here. Yep. Oh, Mini City. They also do book nooks. Okay, I can't be staring at this while I'm trying to be online with you guys, but thanks for the heads up. I'll take a look at those for sure. Peanut Trucker says, I heard Marcus was passed out with a half plate of nachos. What a way to go. What a way to fall asleep. Country says, microelectronics are relaxing. I used to electrify my Revell model cars because they weren't cool enough. I love the intricacy in creating a wire loom where they weren't intended. Yeah, man, I don't find electricity relaxing at all. I'm like, ugh, holy crap, this is so hard. Up, oh, Destiny is home, getting that charcuterie board going. Oh God, David says to Seth, watch out for those pyramid schemes. I would love to see Egypt because I listen to. I feel that I always have to back up what I'm about to say with a disclaimer. So I'm going to give you both. I'm really into history, but in my case, that doesn't come with a desire for us to go back to using the red ends, and you know what I'm saying, in Canada, or kick out the blacks or anything like that. Okay, I know that very often when a white guy of my age says he's really into history, it means he's into World War II and takes an older view of the world. I don't share that element, but I love listening to, especially ancient history. I love the sort of, I was about to say deep time, but deep time is like mammoths and dinosaurs. Deep time is pre-human. So, but like, I love the idea that and it's not, my love of history is not Egypt focused. It's just, it's part of it. And I love the factoid that those pyramids that we all think of. So I mean, the step pyramid by Imhotep and stuff is even older. But I mean, they are so mind-bogglingly old that Cleopatra, the last independent pharaoh, the last pharaoh of an independent Egypt, shall we say, lived closer to us than she did to the building of the pyramids. Right? We're talking about long freaking history. You know, China also crazy long history. And I get enchanted by these ancient things. And whenever I see something old, I kind of wish I could just for a minute catch a glimpse of it in its heyday, like the ruin of some temple sitting there. Like what would it have looked like on a cloudless night and a moonless night with stars above and lit from braziers below, low fires. Like what would walking down an ancient street be? Oh, dangerous, but what would that have looked like compared to, you know, street light, street light, car? What did the world smell like? Anyways, I envy you. I would love to go. I'd also love to see Japan. Love to see Korea. Would love to see Morocco. Ever since I was a kid, Country Boy was as weird as a kid as he is as an adult. Country Boy, Country Boy, you and I might have something in common. Then I don't want to put any pressure on you, but Peanut Trucker says we do wine in the evening when we camp. Not really a camp item, but we enjoy it. But I guess my point is that for you it is a camp item if it's something that you enjoy doing while camping. Like, if a bottle of wine come, and you guys are pretty engaged with wine, right? You go to a winery on the semi-regular. But like, wouldn't that be a legit part of the camping setup for you then? As legit as, a bottle of whiskey is for me, for sure. In fact, I even, when I can find it, I drink. I bring a Cooksa for my post supper whiskey. I'll tell you, it tastes different coming from a wooden vessel than it does coming from a Glencairn. But I have shattered enough Glencairns that I no longer. I mean, the Glencairn, that's that little bulbous glass. That's my favorite way of drinking whiskey, which I guess is kind of weird because it's a glass designed to kind of make you work for it. But when I'm in the bush, nope, I bring my little Cooksa. My Cooksa was carved for me by a Russian dude in Siberia. I think his brand name at the time was called Soul of Siberia, but honestly, I don't even know if he's still around. I don't know if he's lying in a Ukrainian field somewhere. I mean, I have no idea, you know. But yeah. And do you guys bring the actual wine glasses, or do you have like some of those aluminum ones that you can sort of screw the bottom onto? Frederick Remington. What are you talking about, Mr. Jim? They speak a bit of English and French out in North Africa. There's a lot of French in North Africa. There's a lot of French former colonies there. You know, tons. I used to hang with these two guys from Morocco, and I asked them about the education system because they both spoke French, very North African French. I mean, like half of Africa, North or otherwise, are French speaking countries. Um, but I asked them like, so how does it break down like when you're at school? And they said that in Morocco, the subjects that had to do with modernity were taught in French, like science, like math. Yeah, which is weird because the Arabs really gave us modern math in many, many ways. But anyway, but then things like obviously French and literature and all that were in Arabic. Well, literature was, there's French literature as well. But it was just interesting that no, it's not Frederick Remington. It's shoot, I'm gonna have to look it up because it was really nice. No, it's not the Tuileries. Not the Jardin des Plantes. Jardin du Luxembourg. Very nice, but not what I'm looking for. I'm not gonna find it. I'm not gonna find it. Oh, you know what? It's the Musée Rodin. Yeah, because they have this little garden with a bunch of carvings. Yeah, it was the Musée Rodin. Destiny feels bad about missing a birthday. Unfortunately, Russell, Serge is not going to recreate the Mummy movie. I mean, Rachel Weisz, dude. I'd recreate that movie. I would all schemes, not just the pyramid kind. David says we are going to Mexico in a few weeks. We'll be visiting Tulum to see the Mayan ruins. I would love to see that too. Man, I when I was in college or university, I think it kind of crossed over. Man, I did a lot of um, like I did a lot of projects on like the Aztecs, the Mayas as well, but like I did a huge project on Aztec the calendar and the writing and stuff. Fascinating, fascinating. Absolutely, I would love to see those ruins again. I'd love to see those in their heyday, although I wouldn't necessarily want to be carried to the top of a pyramid and have my heart cut out. But you know, all eras and countries are dangerous. Yeah, during the cherry blossom season, you're absolutely right. How late am I here? That was at 9:54, and we're at. Oh, I'm only 6 minutes late. Yeah, Japan is on my list as well. I have a bucket list, guys. Hey, Beto's here. How you doing? How's the uh how's the weather? Gotta stop asking how the weather is. I gotta find something else. Steve Grounds asks a hilarious question. Uh Seth says, "Isn't any alcohol legit while camping?" Yeah, but I mean, and for some people, it might be beer, right? or in fact, there is an absolute joy, especially if you're on like a paddling trip, to having your beer in like a net, just sitting in the stream to keep it cold. Perfect. But what I was meaning though was, do you guys have things that would not necessarily be considered immediately camping related that always come and that are part of your camping experience? Yeah. I just sort of. Oh, David says Rodin in Paris. We've been there. Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. Thing is, there are a few sort of sculpture gardens in Paris. Like there's a Monet one. Fitzy, Destiny says, really enjoying my beef tallow lip butter, stocking stuffer, Christmas gift. Just what like this is made by the Boreal folk. Beef tallow lip butter. I've never even heard of such a thing, but hey, Boreal folk. Peanut Trucker says Japan's next on our list. Now we can fly there for 120 instead of 1500. Oof, I would never be able to fly there for 120. Not from here. Everything comes with us, even the kitchen sink, since we glamp. Yes, that's true. That's true. I forgot to buy more of these for this week. Even to the Monet one also. I so I took my girlfriend to Paris when we went to France. It was 2001. Uh, she came up here and we flew from Montreal to Paris. She was in the Bronx at the time. She was from the States. I met her. She'd read a poem I had published somewhere, and we started talking. And then she came north to visit, and then we were an item for several years. Anyways, I was a young director at a tech company at the time, so I took her to Paris. But she'd already been there as a younger person, like as a kid, as part of a Bands of America, one of those marching band groups kind of thing. So she didn't really want to do any of the stuff that I should have done as someone who'd never been to Paris before, which was a sign. But anyway, um, but yeah, so like I didn't get to see all of the museums. I mean, we went to the Louvre and we saw uh, um, Mona Lisa. Like, oh, okay, there she is. We have finally seen the real one, kind of thing. Um, Lovely town, lovely town. Wouldn't want to live there, but very nice. We did spend a day up in Nantes, which had been the um, the capital of Brittany. The central French government moved Nantes from Bretagne into a different department, the Loire region, as a way of ending or dealing with um, separatist sentiment in Brittany. Didn't freaking work. That town is full of Breton flags. But Nantes I would move to in a Montreal minute. Paris I would visit again, but Nantes I would move to. Oh, right. It's because of the airline discount. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Lip butter equals chapstick, but made from beef tallow. Uh-oh, David has no cheese. I have cheese. I'll send some over. No cheese? No cheese. How can you exist? How can you live with no cheese? It's like living with no whiskey. You just can't do it. Something just popped into my head and now it's gone. I really hate it when that happens. But related to what David the Instigator asked me about the Nesmic Trio videos, like say I arrive at camp and I'm shooting the first video, sort of the setup. This is my Nesmic Trio. It is not a modern Nesmic Trio. It is as close to the original as I can get. Like, I think that just doing like tool reviews of the three would not be the way I want to start that series. Like, what I would probably want to do is set up my camp, do the usual camp chores, right? Including cooking food or whatever, and just using the tools. You know, figuring out how they work, overcoming my discomfort with having a nice big belt knife only for food prep and a pocket knife for wood processing. Like, overcome that on camera if possible. Like, I may be like, this is not great. And because I told you guys, like, I want to do it kind of as a 2 or 3 episode series, like where I would experience the original Nesmic Trio, decide what doesn't work, and then come up with a Jasmic Trio. I'll be here all week. I must remember to call it the Jasmic Trio on the last episode. None of you probably find that as funny as I do, but I've always been a little out to lunch. Country Boy wants brie and smoked oysters. I do love me a brie, but I do not like oysters. I'm very big on texture, so I cannot. David the Instigator. Now I want to go to Le Havre and see the Normandy beaches. So here's a little bit of Jesse trivia. The Canadian Museum in Normandy on the beach. I did some voice work for it, so you probably wouldn't notice me, but in sort of the soundscapes that they used. Oh well, maybe they're not even using them anymore because when I did this, it was when they were opening the museum, so they may not have any of that original work there anymore. But like there were soundscapes of people, you know, troops and stuff fighting on the beaches and yelling and stuff, and I was one of those voices. Oh, I was several of those voices. Yeah, perk of her job. Did get promoted to supervisor for United and still gets discounts for Delta too. So that's yeah, don't expect the luggage to arrive. Yes, you have to fly standby. Yes, standby. Yeah, that's actually the only way that we can afford to do our Alberta tour every summer. We fly into Alberta on standby with WestJet. Originally because our fiddler used to worked for WestJet for about 15 years. He no longer does, but one of our fans out there she's not just a fan. She's a friend of the band at this point. She works for WestJet still, and so she's been getting us buddy passes. Now that Peter the fiddler is no longer working for WestJet, because we can't do it otherwise. It's just too expensive to fly in Canada now. You know, um, like we depend on those gigs to sort of, like, that's our big money part of the year. Well, St. Patrick's Week is still our big money part of the year, but those Alberta gigs are pretty lucrative, and we get to go to Alberta, play around a couple of cities, a couple of towns, and a big festival that we love going to. Win-win. Win-win. One day they're going to fly to Austin, have lunch, and fly back. That's too much time in an airport for me. Yeah, flying has become much more expensive. Absolutely. And I don't even love it. It's no fun to be in an airport for 3 hours before your flight and spend $16 on half a sandwich and a cup of soup. Christy's asking if Peanut Trucker are coming out to their property before summer. Yeah, you guys have a property. I should get a property. That's what I should do. I should get a property. Yeah, I'll just buy a property. Easy to do, right? Ad. Okay. Destiny got an ad. I should probably turn that off. Come on, Pooh. There we go. I like it when the lights are on, but it runs on batteries, and I don't know how long the batteries last. So, excuse me. Tea's a good drink. Property in BC, so we can hang out with a couple of nice bottles. I would love to be able to afford a property in BC because, like, the rainforest out there, that's my old stomping grounds, right? BC is where the event that led me to my current approach to nature and stuff. The seed of that happened in BC. At Manning Park, I think. Wait, was it Golden Ears? No, it's Manning that had the subalpine meadows. And a lot of what I see as my favorite woods environment is influenced by my teenage years, bombing around everything from like Lynn Canyon to Golden Ears or Manning Park or whatever. Russell says, "Damn it, just had a perfect opportunity to say, can't we just have one live stream that doesn't end with us digging up a body?" That's actually pretty a. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, but Country Boy, I wouldn't be able to get to the property in BC often enough though. But that'd be nice, especially if it was like Oceanside, up the side of a mountain on one side, you know, and no, wouldn't necessarily need to have the mountain. Ocean on one side, vast coastal forest on the other, maybe on the Sunshine Coast. I'd rather a little closer to Haida Gwaii though, except not on Haida Gwaii because that's isn't that like First Nations land? But yeah. Christy, we're gonna try. My boss has me lined up for truck show this year. Oh, so maybe Peanut Trucker ain't gonna get to that property in time. In time, after all. I can't believe how fast this live stream is going, folks. Folks, I'm trying to get comfy here, and I keep moving around. Keep moving around. Really? My boss brought the original BJ and the Bear truck from the TV show and wants me to drive it to shows. Man, can't believe it's still around. Yeah, I guess all those cars are still around. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm Gen X, so of course I'm old enough to remember that show. But Destiny says it's beurre à lèvres aux arrêts sauvages. Sorry, I can't find the accents on the phone. Well, fortunately for you, I also have an iPhone, so I'm going to show you how to find the accents. Let me find a place to type. Where's the notepad? Whatever. Use a to-do list. Okay. I'm going to add. Okay. Now, can I do this without? I got to find an E. Oh my God. Hold the E down, and there you go. Find an accent. Right? So whatever letter is, you hold it down, and then you go and find it. Oh, Peanut Trucker sent me pictures. Now, you would have sent me pictures in Meta's Messenger thing. Yes. Oh, yeah, I recognize that truck. Your name's not there? Good. Man, I haven't seen that truck in forever. I mean, it's cool that it still exists, right? Yeah, that's a piece of television history there. Yeah, that's cool. A little conversation going on about Microsoft's approach to lost passwords that I find hilarious because, I think we've all been there. I'm here to help, Destiny. Here to help. So now, Destiny, only use your powers for good. Now that you have the knowledge. I'm out of beverages aside from the tea. David says we have Jennifer and Chris's picture on our fridge. Really? I'm going to taste this gin by itself because I realize I've never actually had it without the tonic. So I don't know if the gin is actually any good. Because we use fairly good tonic water. We use either Fever Tree or like Fentimans. Mostly Fever Tree because we can get it at Costco. Now, I said that we're in a good time for a 0% beer. Thank the gods, because we sure as hell ain't in a great time for 0% gin. That's not great. Yeah. Um, Destiny says, I hope our Marcus is okay. Well, I mean, he might be on call for all we know, right? I mean, he's on call sometimes. Yeah, I don't need to try that gin again. Ugh. It's like making love in a canoe. It's fucking close to water. But yeah, I'm sure Marcus is okay. So I want to ping him on the Discord and see. All right, Serge is out. Enjoy Egypt, Mister. I mean, I know you're not going for another couple of weeks, but send pictures while you're there. Yeah, it's nice. You didn't say why you're going. Oh well, we're too late for that. Country Boy says elevators don't fix themselves. You're absolutely right. They don't. Sometimes a man's just got to do what a man's got to do. You know what I'm saying? I deeply regret drinking that gin without the tonic. I'm like, ugh. Nope. Nope. I mean, you have to have a whiskey just to get the taste of it. Just kidding. Did, David, that's not what the quotable quote was. It's like making love in a canoe, colon. No, semicolon. It's fucking close to water. I mean, it was a perfectly brilliant line. Really high quality discourse here. Hmm. I love how only like 2 or 3 of you actually engaged with that question I asked about, what do you guys bring to camping that and Dave is like, close enough, Destiny can clean it up. Fair enough. All right, fair enough. I'll let it slide. I'll let your backbone slide. Chrissy, that's the thing. You should have let that backbone slide. Then you wouldn't have strained your back. I mean, you gotta be careful with your back. None of us are as young as we used to be. You know what I'm saying? I just can't get comfortable tonight. Occasionally, I'll just feel like, oh, my skin is driving me crazy. I want to get out of it, kind of thing. And I'm kind of having that kind of night. Like, I'm having a hard time getting. Country Boy says, high quality discourse. Is that why we're here? Of course. You're here for the discourse. Can't get comfy tonight. You know what would have helped is that blanket I used to wear, but I stopped bringing it because Russell kept complaining because my hands are really dry and rough, and I'd be rubbing the silky binding there, that satiny stuff, and it would make these like little sounds from catching on it. And Russell's like, "Stop!" So don't bring the blanket anymore. How did Christy injure her back? I don't actually remember. Because I've been drinking so much 0% stuff tonight that I'm completely sauced. Maybe I need a cozy sweater. Maybe that'll help. Like maybe I'm looking for a cozy thing. Maybe it's coziness that I require. sweater that looks like a huge sock. Walking too long, wearing the wrong shoes. Wow. Peanut Trucker says, can't get comfy. Get out of your skin. It's usually anxiety or detox. There are certain neurodivergent elements that can do that as well. But I have not been diagnosed with that particular brand of neurodivergence, so I'm ignoring it. Russell says that she was trying to do 10 backflips in a row and failed on the 8th. I mean, go big or go home, right? It's just sometimes when you go big, you can't get yourself home. Honey, hurt my back. Come and get me, please. Oh, no, I'm at the end of the chat. That's nice. That's sweet. That's great. That's amazing. I've been that just disappeared even as I was saying it. It's gone. It's gone. Oh, it's gone. That's so frustrating. I hate that. I think I need to come up with like a top 5 list of my favorite camp beverages and food elements. Jesse, why do you have to come up with the top 5 list? Because I love coming up with top 5 or top 10 lists. Like, seriously. The very first entry in my commonplace journal. Do I have it here? Yes, of course I have it here. What a stupid thing to say. The very first entry in my commonplace journal, I believe, is a top 5 list. I would love it if fucking dyspraxia. I can't even grab him. Oh, wait, no, that's Agrippa's Trilemma. Oh, no. Yeah. First thing, top 5 bass guitars. I do top 5 lists like you guys would not believe. Top 5 sci-fi movies. Actually, I haven't done that one, but I should. Top 5 this, top 5 that. Top 5 Motown acts. Russell says I need a wood stove in the basement. I completely agree. I know someone who threw their back at turning to get toilet paper. Yeah, turning can if you turn wrong, which is an awful concept, really, because we turn all the time. Peanut Trucker says, forgetting things that quick is old age. I do it all the time. If I get sidetracked, I'll forget what I was doing. I feel like I'm always on a side quest these days. Like, I don't remember why I came down into the basement, but I'm like, oh, I'll grab this. Jim said, I was walking on the trail with my dog last week, hit ice under the snow and landed on my back. Finally, it doesn't hurt today. Yep. I got a buddy who knocked himself clean out, slipping feet ahead of him, head on the ice. The dog came to kiss me while I was down. Gotta love those dogs, eh? Gotta love them dogs. Yeah. It's a constant danger out here. Yeah, especially where Russell is. Slips, goes down. A couple of dogs licking his face. God, I gotta get up. I gotta get up. It's like, I miss having a dog, though. I really do. Nothing is as non-judgmental as a dog is. I mean, cats technically aren't either, but they seem like they're so bitchy all the time that you kind of feel like they're judging you, even though they don't. They're not nearly as smart as we think they are. They're not nearly as grumpy. He just looks so regal all the time that you kind of feel like you're being judged. Country boy. That's what dogs are for, to mock you when you're at your worst. Taking what I saying and going the exact opposite. You know what I should do? If I wanted to be all comfort, all like cozy tonight, I should have made like mulled cider. Pull up a blanket, cup of mulled cider. But then that's really screaming for a wood stove in the corner, though, isn't it? That's a setting I would love to be in. Okay. I have a study. There's a secretary's desk off to one side. The walls are bookshelves, dark wood bookshelves. There's an arch-topped window. Maybe it's a what do you call those windows that sort of go out? You know, those windows that sort of go out the front of the house, and you know, there's usually like a little bench that follows the line of it inside. One of those. On that side, that's where the wood burning stove is. Big comfy chair, glass of mulled cider, dog on the floor, cat in my lap, and I've got a good book going on. And the whiskey is just sort of, you know, ready to go for after the cider's done. Big Hudson Bay blanket. Not a care in the world. Just the enjoyment of the written word. Dogs have a sense of humor. Jim says, I'd like to think she was concerned for me, but I think you're right, Scott. David says, I had a dream last night that our place caught fire. It may have something to do with the recessed lights I wired up in the kitchen earlier in the day. Fitzy, English Bulldog crossed with a Chiweenie, stubborn but strong with the occasional verbal zoomies of a no. I don't want no Chiweenie anywhere near me. Russell says that CG had her first ever lucid dream last night. It wasn't very interesting. Just she knew she was dreaming. That's it. Good first step. Fair enough. Yeah. My mic is super quiet tonight. Is it? am I coming through it at a lower level than usual? I'm not like right on top of it like I usually am, because I'm a little low energy tonight. A little tired. A little tired of life. Wait a second. Destiny is saying if we were dogs. I don't even get like a husky or, well, I guess not. David, border collie. Smart, lots of energy, likes to herd people and instigate. I see what you're doing there. David wants to be a French poodle. Okay, hold on 1 second, okay? Am I coming through too loud now? Because like I don't want it to be too high so that I'm peaking, and like the levels when I'm doing live seem a little messed up. How's that? David is a poodle. I love it. Let me know. Is that loud enough? Because like there with that clapping, I was peaking, and that's what I don't want to be doing. And like if I start speaking ex cathedra, hello, my name is Jess. Lend me your ears. Oh no, I'm not peeking. But I don't know if it sounds like it is because I did hold on a second. So sounds good to you? Good. And so but you do hear me louder than you did before, right? Because I can do that, but yeah, that peaked. So I'm gonna turn it down just a notch. Better? Okay, good. Susie, how you doing? Computer's all the way up, can't hear too low. Interesting. Interesting. Christy says this sounds better. And Destiny says that Peanut Trucker is definitely a German Shepherd, loyal, alert, calm when driving on the road with those crazy drivers. Yeah, I do tend to back away from the mic tonight for sure. Russell says, I'm constantly redlining during my live streams, but nobody says anything. So my guess is that redlining isn't peaking. Well, if I was recording an album, it would be peaking for sure. But like as I said, the levels here versus what go out, it doesn't seem to make the correlation is not as clear as it should be. At least I got Bulldog. He's an asshole Shiba Inu. I prefer a larger breed, but I get fair enough. Chris needs to be calmer. They'd put him in jail. Fair enough as well. Also fair enough. I could use some cheese though. I could definitely use some cheese. Hold on. How's that? Yeah, I'm still not. I mean, I'm not snapping my fingers a lot online. So let's try it like this for a little while. Hey, there's Carol. How are you doing? How's Carol tonight? Peanut Trucker's got pepper jack cheese. Ray is a Saint Bernard, always coming to Russell's rescue. That actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that tracks. Excuse me. Christy is a short-haired golden retriever, friendly and knows how to get along with others. If I had the wherewithal to get a dog, I think I would like a black lab, maybe a golden. I know the family is more on the golden side of that discussion, but I do like a nice black lab as well. I'm looking for. Russell says that Russell is one of those tiny yappy dogs that stands in the corner and shivers. Boot to boot to boot, but to boot boo. I'm looking for. Oh, I was trying to figure out what you were saying there. Jim says I'd love to know what kind of dog he is, but yeah, he's out because the wife has a doctor's appointment early tomorrow. All right, good night, Jim. Thanks for hanging with us. Sleep well, and I hope your wife's appointment goes well in the morning. This is Black Lab for the win. I feel that way too. A Belgian Malinois, smarter than most humans, but high energy to get that body, anyways. Destiny. I do feel that you're a little interested in that man. I do believe. I do, in fact, believe. I mean, there's only 19 minutes left of the stream, Jim. But you know, I mean, if Al was still here, if I knew that Al was still here, I'd do another reading because I know that he loves himself so much. I would love to stop yawning though. Apparently Destiny is a pug. Or a pew. I'm just drinking the liquid now. Interested in still a restraining order. I love it. Carol is relieved that Russell is alive, as I'm sure is he. I'm relieved when I discover that I'm alive every morning. Most mornings. Well, some mornings. On the occasional morning. Yay, what a joy it is to be alive. Christy again is out when, all right, well, whatever, Christy. I'm out of here. I need to get a good night's sleep. Good night, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of the week. Well, if Christy's gone, I'm ending the stream. I mean, there's no point in going on. Why would we go on? Did we find out what kind? Oh. Christy gone. Christy gone. Take care of your back, Christy. That sucks to have a sore back, man. I hate that. I've had kind of a sore lower back for several weeks now, but like low grade. You know, it's not like, oh my god, I can't even move. It's just a little, you know. David says Pam is a toy poodle, runs around a lot, gets tired out, and then sleeps a lot. Where was it? Oh, Russell says, I think Ray is more like a border collie. Was the littlest hobo? No, was not a border collie. No, it was a German Shepherd or something. I mean, who here even remembers the littlest hobo? Tomorrow I wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just put my on. Good old TV. It was a husky. Really? Hold on a second here. Littlest hobo. I don't know if this says where I'm sitting, but I got to Little Less, and the first thing that popped up was Littlest Hobo. The hobo theme actually states, maybe tomorrow I'll want to settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. But yeah, I think you're right. That definitely looks like a husky to me. Was a Shepherd Husky mix. Lassie was a collie. That's true. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. What I mean is, stop it. Yes, I knew that Lassie was a collie. And I sort of conflated them a bit. Destiny likes a toy poodle for Pam. It's a fit. I'm going to tell Pam you guys are saying that. I will be glad to crawl into bed tonight. I haven't seen The Littlest Hobo in years and years and years. But I still remember that theme song. I would share it with you just to irritate everyone, but I seem to remember that I can't share sound. Carol, I have a question for you. How cold will it get up there this weekend? I am looking right now. There's something wrong with the Maps app. Okay, hold on. I will look up on my phone. This weekend. So that's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh, okay. So it's funny because Thursday, the high is -1, the low is -9. That's degrees Canadian. Friday, the high is -9, the low is -22. Saturday, the high is -21, the low is -26. Sunday, the high is -17, the low is -26 again. Okay. I will not be camping this weekend. That's for damn sure. While you're wondering, Carol, are you going to be in this part of the country on the weekend? If so, dress up nice and warm. For God's sakes, because -26 is. Ugh, don't like that at all. Russell says, the things you learn. Littlest Hobo was primarily a German Shepherd. So, but were there, there has to have been 4 dogs on that show, right? Because wouldn't they just exhaust just one dog? Excuse me. I don't even know where I'd look that up, and I'm not going to do it while I'm trying to conduct a live stream. Destiny is out. 11 minutes to the end again. Bonsoir tout le monde. Have an awesome week. Bisous. Good night, Destiny. See you next week. Have a good night. You didn't tell us everything on that charcuterie board this time. I'm going to expect a charcuterie report next week, okay? Carol says, we are looking at those temperatures in Virginia. Wow, okay. So it's getting cold everywhere. Are we having well, what's up with the deep freeze? David says, Dino on the Flintstones was a dinosaur. Yep. A young one, obviously. Was he a brontosaurus or was he like a titanosaurus? Or an apatosaurus? Like one of those with the long necks, right? So, I mean, it's got to have been a baby bronto. A baby bronto. Raspberry Rock says, Littlest Hobo was from the same line and kennel as Littlest Hobo. So they did have several dogs on that show. Wait, Rin Tin Tin was from the same line as Littlest Hobo? What? Really? Country Boy says, my brother's sweet deceased Sasha was almost identical to Hobo. That's why I said it was a mix. She was Shepherd Husky. Fine looking dog, but I seem to remember reading somewhere that they'd had Peanut Truckers. I'm lost. Is Hobo a Canadian show? I never heard of it. I'm about to change your life. Oops, he said, and then completely. Wow, The Littlest Hobo started in 1963? What? No. What? The Littlest Hobo, French, Le Vagabond, is a Canadian television series based on a 1958 American film of the same name, directed by Charles R. Rondeau. Okay. The TV series ran from 1979 to 1985. I'm looking for... How many dogs were used? Oh, yeah, no, what I wanted was the theme song. Why is this on a British TV subreddit. Anyways, I'm sending that over so you can listen to this piece of little Canadiana here. Yeah, Russell is absolutely spilling the tea on the dialogue. What's that, boy? You say Timmy is behind the barn and was looking for his yo-yo and he fell down a hole and is now trapped under a rock. And now the hole is filling with water and he lost a tooth. Yeah, it's like, wait a minute. Take me to him, boy. Yeah. I just didn't know that it was based on an American film. An American film. I'm looking for anything about the film. Okay, so the dogs, London, Toro, Lishan, and Thorn. So yeah, there were four dogs. Okay, so (1963 to 1965) series. But these dogs were in that series and the 1979 to 1985. But the opening theme to the 63-65 series was Road Without End by Jerry Scoggins. And then Maybe Tomorrow was for the 79 to 85. This is fascinating stuff, says no one. Hey, I'm here to help, buddy. I'm here to help. I'm okay. Both of the series were Canadian. Okay. I mean, this is some riveting live stream stuff here, but I mean, the show was so riveting as well. What's that? You say little Tommy is? I mean, that's the thing. You know what Russell said there about the dialogue is just so bang on. It's like, why are you guys writing this way? Excuse me. Excuse me. I hear stairs. Excuse me. I think that's the eldest daughter. I don't know why she's still up. Excuse me. What's the topic for next week? I don't know. What should it be? I keep meaning to like ping you guys on Discord and say, what should we talk about this week? But then, you know, life gets away from me. I mean, I was setting this episode up almost last minute, you know. Anyone remember Finnegan on the Friendly Giant? Yes, of course. Absolutely, I do. Why are you asking about about Finnegan? Like Casey and Finnegan? Oh, I see. I don't know what kind of dog Finnegan was. Let me just head that off. Head that one off with the pass. I have no idea what kind of dog Finnegan was. I think because of that show, whenever I hear the name Finnegan, I think like that's a fundamentally 1970s name. That's like Gord, you know. But it's just purely because of how old I was when Casey, same thing. Like that's an old fashioned name, but it's just because of the age I was and like what the years were when I came across those names, Casey and Finnegan. And like, is Casey short for something? Or is that an actual name? You know? Finnegan was a dog. He sure was. He sure bees. I think the Peanut Sugar says we had Beethoven the Saint Bernard. Yeah, we saw those too. Well, I didn't go and see them. I felt no need. David says Casey. It's 8:58, but I feel that the quality of my discourse is dropping because I'm just so tired. So maybe I'm just gonna shut her down here so that we can regroup again next week. Between now and next week, let's sort of settle on an actual subject for next week's episode, so that we can have a little more give and take, a little more chitty McChat. We'll discuss on the Discord, I guess. So between this night and next Tuesday, I do hope that every single damn one of you stays safe, stays sane, stays healthy, and bees kind to one another. Good night, all.